Hi boys and girls, today we're going to work on some math. You're going to need a couple things. You're going to need your triangle flashcards. So let's review a little bit how we practice with them to get our math facts down. So you can see I've been saving them in a little bag. And now, before I practice, I'm going to go through and make sure that the dot is at the top for each one. See how I did that? So now I have it organized. And I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to take my hand, and I'm going to cover the sum, or the answer. And now I can quickly go through and practice it. 3 plus 5 is 8. 3 plus 4 is 7. 5 plus 2, 7. 6 plus 2, 8. Don't peek under those fingers. 3 plus 3, 6. 2 plus 2, 4. 3 plus 2, 5. 2 plus 4, 6. 4 plus 4, 8. So that's a quick way that we practice together, but I would love for you today, get your bag out, set your timer, and spend about 5 minutes. Just go through. If you don't have a timer, maybe go through the pack 2 times today. You do 2 times a day, you are going to be a master at those math facts. Now, we're going to review money. Last week we learned about the quarter. Do you remember who's on that quarter? That's George Washington. On the other side, this one has an eagle. But what's very interesting, a couple years ago, the mint, where they make money and coins, and in fact, fun little fact, they have that mint down in Philadelphia. And you can actually go and visit there and see them making the coins. So what you'll do is you're going to take that quarter. So we see George Washington, but I was telling you the fun fact. There was a while back where they made quarters from each state, and they had a quarter and they have a different design for each state, and it was kind of fun back then, which you could even start looking for them now and collecting quarters with different pictures from each different state. Just something little fun that they did. But a quarter also has rough edges. All right, so what my question is, how could you make a quarter? Do you remember? Well, I could use 25 pennies. That would be a lot of coins, but it would be worth the same if I had 25 pennies. It would equal a quarter because a quarter's worth 25 cents. What else could I do to make a quarter? I could take 10, 20, 5. I could take 25 cents, and that makes a quarter too. So that's equal to a quarter. We're going to look in our reading workbook today in a few minutes, but before we do that, I want to teach you just another fun activity to practice money. Have you been playing any of the money games? To play this game, you're going to need a handful of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. Now, Mackenzie and her husband Christian helped last week to show us how to play the money trading game. This is more something you can either do with a partner or you can do it by yourself. And I'm going to tilt our camera a minute so that you can see what I'm going to do. So you can see here how I have just a pile of coins. I have a little coin jar where I collect my money, and I'm saving it for something special. So I took that little pile of coins, and what I would just do is I'm going to do a grab. Now we did this before in class, but we didn't do it with quarters. If you were listening carefully, you could hear that I dropped some money on the floor. So here's what I grabbed, and I'm going to put what I grabbed over here. If you're playing with somebody, you can each take a grab and you do it to see who has the most money. But now, when I get my grab, I'm going to sort it. I'm going to put my pennies together, my dimes, and my nickels. Now, do you notice anything here? I can take my 2 dimes and my nickel, and that equals what? It equals 25 cents. Then I can add up my pennies, and I'm going to count up. 26, 27, 28, 29. I have 29 cents. Now, we're going to take our math journals and we're going to open up to page 126. All right, you should be ready on page 126, and we're going to do this together today, just to do a little catch up. And I'm going to show you some tricks that will help. I see 2 nickels. I'm going to circle those 2 nickels because what does that make? That makes 10 cents. I don't have anything else that I can make a trade. So now, just to help me keep track, I see a dime that's worth 10, a dime that's worth 10, a nickel that's worth 5, a penny that's worth 1, and a penny that's worth 1. Now I'm going to count. Help me count. 10, 20, 30, 35, 36, 37. I have 37 cents. If you forget, at the top of the book, it tells you the name and what the coin is worth. So now I'm going to go to my next one. I see a quarter. I'm going to trade that for 25 cents. I'm going to just write it as 25 cents. Now I could do this a couple different ways. I'm going to show you one way to make a trade. Remember I said that 2 dimes and a nickel makes 25? So I'm going to circle that and write that as 25. Now, this helps me if we remember when we're counting quarters. 25, 50. Now I add my dime. 60, 65. That is worth 65 cents. Now here we don't have the pictures, so I'm going to make my groupings. I'm going to trade these 2 nickels for a dime. I'm going to trade these 2 nickels for a dime. I know that here's a dime. Now I know when I'm counting my quarters. 25, 50, 60, 70, 80. And now I have 80 cents. Let's look at the next one together. Remember with quarters, we go 25, 50, 75. Now I'm going to add my tens. So let's do it again. 25, 50, 75, 85, 95, 96, 97. And I can write in my answer. Let's go down here. Oh, wow, there's a lot of quarters here. Let's look at this. I see 4 quarters. Do you remember what a 4 quarters equals? It equals $1. Then I have 25, I have 10, and I have 5. So, I know I have $1. Let's count this up. Now, can I show you a little trick? Here's 25. I'm going to cross it out because I'm adding that. And here's 5 more. That gives me 30. Now I can add the 10, and it's 40. So that is $1. I put a decimal point in for my change, 45 cents. Remember in money, it's ones, tens, decimal point. Here's the change, and here's the dollar. But since we're talking in dollars, we're going to get rid of that cent mark and we're going to put the dollar sign. All right, that was a little bit of a challenge, those last ones. How did you do? I heard a great suggestion if mom or dad is listening today. One mom is having their children buy their snacks. What a great idea. So you have a little food chart, put your money and what it costs, and that way you're working with money all the time. And so you just become so comfortable with it that it becomes easier. The more you do it, the easier it's going to get. Now for review, we're going to do our math box. All right, here's a spinner. If you were playing a game and you spin it, which one would you most likely spin it on? The black or the white? Now I know it could go on either color, but look carefully at the circle. Which one do you have more of a chance of getting? Now look over here at this. If you have a ruler at home, actually you can't do this one, so let's just cross this one out. Isn't it fun to cross something out in your book? We're going to go down here. We're going to write a fact family, and then we're going to match up some shapes. But what we're matching is we're looking for circles. Here's a circle, and now that I found it, I'm going to color it in, or shade it as the directions say. Can you find any other circles to shade in? All right. I would love to see one of your math book pages from this week. If you have, can you send me a picture of it and email it? I'd love to see how you're doing.